This video is going to walk you through Paint My Picture, which is the project that's due. That will introduce you to canvases, and it's going to be an app where you have a picture of yourself and you're able to draw using different colors on that picture. So we're going to go ahead and start by going to Google Chrome, go ahead to class website. You're going to see this starts with the second grading term, and you can see it right here, Paint My Picture Part 1. Paint My Picture Part 1, you have files needed. Here's a preview of a similar project called Paint Pot, and you can see this is what the end result will look like. You need to make your portfolio page. Your portfolio page will look something like this. It'll have the app, the description, it'll have the questions and the QR code. So let's get through this. All the instructions are obviously on the page, but let's go ahead and open up my App Inventor. And you can see I have the project here already, but I'm going to go ahead and delete that project. I'm going to create a new one. Start a new project. I'll call it Paint My Pic. Click OK. So the blank new project starts, and what you want to get used to doing when a project starts is you don't want screen 1 here. You want it to say the name of your project. So under screen 1, under properties, if I scroll down, you can see I see the title here says screen you're on. My title is Paint My Pic, created by Jamie Gant. And you can see that changes there. Now also, what you want to do is change your icon. The icon is what's shown when you install the app on someone's phone. Since we're painting our picture, I'm going to make the icon a picture of myself. So I'm going to upload. Let's go find a picture of myself. Hopefully I can find one in my Gantech. Here we go, right here, Jamie Gant. There's a picture of myself. So that picture will show up when someone installs this on their phone. Under icon, you can see it there. The last thing I want to do is I want my alignment to be centered. And that's pretty much it that I want to work with the screen component. Now, let's go back and actually just use this as a reference. I'm going to copy this image and show you. So this is the image that we're trying to, the app that we're trying to build, and I'm going to use it as a frame of reference. You can see at the top it says Paint My Picture, created by Jamie Gant. Then I have Paint My Picture. I have some buttons. I have created by. So first thing I want to do is go ahead and get that label out of the way. That's my label. Call it Paint My Picture. I'm going to make it 20. And because I aligned my screen to be centered, you can see this centers automatically even though it's not field parent. Next up, I have my buttons. I have some text here, and I have a new component that you're going to introduce you to. So for my buttons, I'm going to go ahead and drag 3 buttons out. And let me rename these accordingly. This is my label, which is LBL app title. This is my button, which is BTN. It's going to be red. This is going to be my button, which is going to be BTN blue. This is going to be my button, which is going to be BTN green. So I want to change these to have a background of the color that is. That's that. I also want to change this to say red. And I want that text color to be white. So you can see my red one is there. I'll do the same thing for my blue. And this is green, so I'm going to do green. And fill parent. Oh, I don't want fill parent, sorry. I want white. So now I have red, green, and blue. Now I need to put them horizontally, so you know that is under layout. Go ahead and put my horizontal arrangement. I'm going to make that fill parent so it goes across the entire screen. Then I simply drag my buttons inside of there. Now, these are all different sizes, but I want them to be the same. To do that, if I make the width of each one of these buttons fill parent, the parent is now the horizontal alignment. So it will equally space these out to make them the same size. So if I click here, I click fill parent, you can see red initially takes up most of it, but then when I go to blue, I do fill parent, you can see those two are equal. Now lastly, if I do green, and now they're equally spaced. Now I want to add one more button, and this button, I'm going to call it BTN clear. And I want it to say clear. I'm going to put this at the back. And this button is basically going to be, when they click it, it's going to erase all the drawings that we've done. So I have all my buttons. Just look at the pictures of reference. You can see I'm pretty much on point. Now I have some text here. I'm going to go ahead and put another label. And I'm going to call this LBL for label description. I'm going to make this one fill parent because I want it to go all the way across. And these are going to be the directions. Select a color above, then paint my picture. I'm going to say paint on my picture below. And I want to center this text. So I have select a color above, then paint on my picture below. Nice to have an app that describes stuff. Now, the next part of this we have is, looks like a picture, but it's actually not. And we have our Gantech logo, which is a picture, and our Ronald Reagan, which is a picture. So let's go ahead and put these pictures in first. And this is going to be IMG for image, IMG Gantech logo. And this one's going to be IMG RRDS for my school. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and upload. Hopefully I have the Gantech logo. I don't have it here, but actually, well, let me do the Reagan one first, cancel, because I do see that. Picture, upload. I see that here. I'm going to go ahead and upload that. And I want to fill the parent, and I don't want it that big. I only want it 50. Oh, I did it backwards. You see I did that one for, this one should be that. Go ahead and select that. And let's fill this parent. and I wanted it 50. Okay, now this one, which is my logo. Okay, so I need to put my logo there. If I don't have my logo like I do, obviously, I can grab it from right here. On Mac, you want to use a snipping tool, and if I look under my tools, I have right here, snip. It'll start like that. Let's check out my preferences. Only copy image to the clipboard. Actually, no, I want to save it. I'm going to save it to my pictures. So that's pretty much good. I want to go ahead and grab this. So, and like that. And again, this is on the Mac. So if you're on Windows, you simply type in snipping tool and you can use the snipping tool there. So that's there. Let's go back and now let's go try to find my picture. Snipping tool goes to pictures and it's these. It names them funny. So you can see 10/27, which is the day. That's the image I want. And I go ahead and upload that. Now this one, I'm going to make it 200 pixels and I can leave it at 50. So if you look at it, I have that, I have my Ronald Reagan image, I have my Gantech logo. The only thing I'm missing now is this area that I'm going to draw on with these different colors. This area, if you look under on the left side, we have drawing and animation, and what we want to draw on is the canvas. So I'm going to drag a canvas in there. I'm going to call it CNV my picture, and I want it to obviously fill the parent, but what I want it to be, I'm going to say, let's make it 250. So I have my area there. Now earlier I uploaded back on screen the icon image, which is what will be shown when someone installs this. I uploaded my picture. So when I go back to Canvas, I want this background picture. My name is already there. I already uploaded it before. Simply click OK. So now you can see we have the design part of our app. We have Paint My Picture created by Jamie Gant. Paint My Picture was the app title. We have our buttons here, which is red, blue, green, and clear, where we can select those colors. We have instructions for our users to the app, and then we have our canvas that we're going to paint on. We have our Gantech logo, which is a requirement of the class, and also the picture of our school, which is also a requirement of the class. Our app is now fully built in design mode. What we need to do is now program it. So we're going to go to the back, to blocks, where we're going to program. So first we want to program the events, and the different events that we have, the interactions, are all our buttons. So I'm going to click on button red. I'm going to drag all these out at the same time. I have button blue, I have button green, and I have button clear. Let's think about this. What do we want these buttons to do? When I click on button red, I want the color to turn red for me to draw on that canvas. Well, all of the interactions we're doing is going to be with the canvas, so where we want to go is on canvas. And we'll deal with some of these before, but I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. You can see draw circles, draw lines. There's a bunch of things you can do with canvas. You can see save, save as, background color. We don't want the background color, we want the paint color. And if I get to the very bottom, you can see set paint color too. I'm going to drag that out, go ahead and put that in. I'm going to copy and do that for all my colors. So this is button red. When someone clicks on button red, do what? I want to set the canvas color, paint color, to red. Well, we have a block over here called colors. If I scroll up, simply drag red in there. I'll do the same thing for blue, and I'll do the same thing for green. And that's as simple as it is to set the color for whatever we want to paint on the picture or our canvas. Now we have a button clear here. This button is when we click it, we want it to erase all the drawings that people have done on our picture. And again, I told you all the interactions were going to be with canvas. So if you look under canvas, we can scroll down and you can see right here we have an action call clear. I put that in there. Now all of my buttons are actually programmed. So all of these are actually programmed with coding now. Simply when I click on these, it's going to set the paint color for this canvas to that color. And you can see it's pretty much simple right there. Now, we don't have any interaction with the canvas. We want people to touch the canvas. We want people to be able to draw lines on the canvas. So we're going to go back to canvas. And let's look at the top of our options. We have when canvas dragged, we have when canvas flung, touch down, touch up, and touched. Well, I know I want touched because when someone touches it, I want it to put a dot there in whatever color that they select. And if someone touches the phone and drags a line, I want it to actually make that line. So I see dragged here. I'm going to use this one as well. I'm going to go ahead and space this over. So when someone touches my screen, what do I want it to do? Usually when you paint on any program, it puts like a dot. To do the dot, where would I find that? Again, everything is going to be in Canvas whenever you're using any interactions. So I'm going to go to Canvas and let's scroll down. And you can see on the purple blocks, we have a couple different options. What I want to do, when someone touches my screen, I want to make a point. A point or a dot is a circle. So I'm going to drag, draw circle. Now, drag circle has some inputs that you have to program. It has an X value, a Y value, and an R value. X and Y is the actual location that person touches on your screen. Where do I get that from? Well, actually, when canvas picture touched, if someone touches the screen, it records the X, the Y, and the touch sprite. So I can get my X the exact location that they touched there. I can get the exact Y location that they touched there. Now R, what is R? R is the radius, the size of the dot that I want to be shown when someone touches on my screen. So it's looking for a number. A number is under math. And you can see up here, here's a blank 0. I can drag that in there. And I'm just going to make it 5. So that, actually, if someone touches my app on the picture part, it would put a dot in the location where they touched with the radius of 5. Let's see, using the emulator, if we can get this working. So you can see how it actually works. Here's our emulator. I'm going to shorten this part so you can see it. And let's unlock our phone. And let's double click on the AI companion. and we just want to test to see if we've coded everything right so far. The things that we've coded has been when they touch on the red, green, or blue button, it turns to red, blue, or green. We also coded the clear, and we coded if someone touches the picture, it should automatically put a dot there because we're using draw circle. Okay, sometimes the emulator is taking longer. That's why I suggest you use your phone at home. Alright, let's stop and exit. Okay, there we go. I'm not going to update right now. So, it's going to load our app. And you can see I have my red, blue, and green. I have the clear button, select the color above, and paint. So let's not select first, and let's just, you can see the initial color is black. So this is working. So this code here, when I touch something, wherever I put it, it's getting that X and Y value. So I could do a bunch of dots on my face like that. Let's try some blue. So that's working. You can see if I click anywhere else, it doesn't work, but it works on the canvas. You can see dragged is not working because we haven't done that yet. Let's try some green. So it's working for the dots. Now let's show you something. If we change this to 10, see what happens? It gets bigger. So if I did red, and let's just test our clear. So if I click clear, it clears the screen. Exactly what we want. Now the last part we want to do over here is if someone drags, for example, if I drag like this, it doesn't do anything. I want it to draw that line for them. So I can probably make circles around the eyes, those type of things. So back over here, remember again, everything for canvas is going to be in canvas. So I'm going to click on canvas, and remember I said if I'm dragging from here to here or wherever, that's just a continuous line. You can see from my purple blocks I have draw text, angle. I actually want draw line. Now this has some inputs. These inputs, x1, y1, x2, y2. Now let's think about that. x1 and y1 would be the initial point where I click on that screen. And x2 and y2 will be the last point. So if I click from here and I dragged over to here, it would record the first point and the last point and draw a line between those points. So I need to set those up here. Again, from dragged, we have all these values we can use. Well, the last point is the current point, so I'm going to put my current X in there and my current Y. So that is the current location. If I drag from here to here, this point right here is the current location of I last touched. Now, how do I get the x1 and y1? Do I want start or want previous? If this was a current one, I want to get the previous one. So, under previous, I'm going to put my x and my y. Simply mousing over this. So, that is the code for dragged. Now, let's try it. I got my blue, and I want to make some eyes around, and let's make red. I'm gonna do some stuff like this so you can see it's dragging. Let's say I wanted to put some crazy clown hair or something like that. Actually, I'll make some green clown hair. So you can see I can drag, and I can color all on my picture, and my app is working. I want to do some more red. I can do some designs in the shirt, whatever I wanted to do. Put some blue in there as well, why not? You can see I can just really mess this up. But my app is actually working.